Hello, thanks for checking out my video. Today we're going to talk about should you move to Tijuana. Uh, I personally know because I moved to Tijuana. I moved to Tijuana when it was kind of an interesting position. I moved to Tijuana mostly to go surfing, so I moved more towards the beach. Tijuana has come into a situation recently where the costs have even risen higher to live in San Diego, which I think people are looking at Tijuana as a place to live, and even with some of the recent escalation of murders and stuff in the area, I think people are looking at Tijuana very closely. Uh, you know, the other thing I feel like is important to ask yourself is one is why you're moving to Tijuana, and two is how Tijuana actually fits into your lifestyle. You know, I lived in Tijuana for a good stretch of period. I didn't really have to cross the line on a daily basis. I don't know how much different that would affect my experience. Me personally, I enjoyed the experience overall. I did have some negative experience, but I think it balanced it out reasonably well. Like my car was stolen. I did have insurance. The insurance paid. It was not quick. It was not easy, but it was not intolerable either. The other point is the line. The line will be the reason, Tijuana, I feel, would really flourish if the line was a little more efficient. You can expect some long wait periods, and depending on exactly, what happens or how frequently you have to cross the line, it will really affect how you feel about Tijuana. I really put in a lot of hours coming and going through the line. Tijuana has recently made a lot of changes that made the line very, less, fluent both ways. The line, I'm able to kind of choose the times I'm able to cross. This is a big benefit, so I'm able to try to, pick periods that are generally lower. But I will tell you, in response to that, the big deal was, when I wanted to cross, everybody else wanted to cross, right? So that wasn't totally crazy. The, I really think about my experience in Tijuana, and I had a lot of fun. I ate a lot of great food, but I definitely seen a lot of people come and go, even myself. You think, oh wow, I'm gonna move to Tijuana, but you will indeed come back to the United States at some point. I think that is really the thing that I think most people don't think about. No matter how long your stay in Tijuana is, you eventually come home. Me personally, from a very, maybe impartial, having gone through the experience, I feel like, hey, Tijuana is really nice. I mean, it really was. Even where I lived, relatively safe. I would not, classify Tijuana as really safe for everyone, meaning that you look at me, and I don't know how much trouble I would attract versus the next person. So that's a very difficult question to ask. I think it's very situational. But I still believe that in general, I think Tijuana is pretty safe for most people. So, that's my opinion. The next point I, really like to make is I think that Tijuana and the cost of Tijuana, because of the escalating costs in San Diego, I really feel like the costs in Tijuana are unusually high, and maybe even not as I guess not as great value is not exactly the word to say, but it's seeing the cost over in San Diego and went, wow, we could stand to raise the cost, which I begin to think that, if you're paying, say, $1,000 in Tijuana, which is very reasonable for the area, especially when you think about where you're living and, being able to eat world-class tacos, Tijuana is definitely not unattractive in that regard. I mean, there's a really great atmosphere and stuff like that, especially in Cacho. Playas is very nice. And Rosarito is very nice too, and beyond in the place. Porto Nuevo. Apologize, I'm pretty bad with these names in general. But overall, the location is very desirable, and it just really kind of feels like you spend a lot of time commuting back and forth. That's what I feel like is the major drawback with that. That being said, I hope you consider why you move exactly to Tijuana and then think it backwards, because you really want to have a good exit plan and a place to go if you move out. And that's what I think was the big mystery behind moving to Tijuana. Again, I hope you enjoyed my videos. If you do, give her a thumbs up or a like or whatever, however that works. And thanks again for watching my